The recent news that the UK government will postpone and potentially water down its China audit and prioritize closer economic ties with China in the short term has sparked significant concern. This decision comes amidst heightened scrutiny of UK China relations, driven by espionage allegations and parliamentary debates over security, human rights, and questions of values. While the government's official stance, cooperate where possible, compete where necessary, and challenge where security interests conflict, has not changed, pushing or paring back the audit undermines the goal of developing a coherent and effective China strategy. The audit was designed to address critical questions about the UK's relationship with China. What areas of interaction align with national interests and which do not? And how can policy be coordinated across the whole of government? Scaling back this effort signals a lack of clarity and a lack of leadership. The UK cannot simultaneously challenge China on security, criticize its human rights record, and pursue deeper economic ties without, I would argue, necessarily prioritizing two of these objectives, and at least somewhat deprioritizing the third. Which two it chooses is fundamentally a political choice. Without clear policy direction, though, and political direction of policy, the government risks falling into a precarious middle ground that satisfies none of these aims. First, the security dimension. At the heart of the UK's China dilemma are security interests. While successive governments now have increasingly highlighted the importance of security in the bilateral relationship, they have failed to articulate specific security priorities or interests. A coherent approach, though, requires clarity on the most pressing security concerns, which can be categorized as follows in rough order of importance. First, internal security. Protecting the UK from espionage, political influence operations, economic sabotage, and other threats is paramount. The Yang Tangbo case underscores the urgency of robust counterintelligence measures and vigilance against industrial or other espionage. Second, Hong Kong. As the former colonial power, the UK bears a unique responsibility to uphold the Sino-British Joint Declaration, which the UK takes to be a treaty that guarantees important aspects of Hong Kong's autonomy under one country, two systems. The erosion of rights and constitutional processes in Hong Kong thus represents not only a moral issue, but also a direct challenge to UK credibility, including on security and the rule of law. Third, Taiwan. Maintaining peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait is a strategic priority. The UK should support Taiwan's democratic institutions and do what it can to prevent and resist coercion, working with allies to deter any escalation in this critical region. Fourth, the South China Sea. As the body of water home to the world's busiest and most critical trade routes, the South China Sea is vital for global commerce, as well as for security across Southeast Asia, East Asia, and South Asia. The UK must continue to champion freedom of navigation and collaborate with allies to ensure open sea lanes, while also taking a stand on the legality of sovereign claims in the region and in support of international legal institutions such as the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS. Fifth, alliances. Strengthening ties with key partners such as the United States, Australia, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, and others is essential. These relationships provide a foundation for collective action on shared security challenges, and too often have been insufficiently prioritized in this region. Sixth, multilateral frameworks. Participation in organizations like the Comprehensive and Progressive Trans-Pacific Partnership, or CPTPP, offers opportunities to advance regional security objectives while deepening economic ties. The UK should leverage these platforms to strengthen its influence in the Asia-Pacific. Finally, global trade and economic security. Safeguarding the global trade system from destabilizing actions, including economic coercion by China or others, is crucial for the UK's long-term prosperity. This requires a strategic balance between cooperation and competition. There are trade-offs, though. While security considerations are critical, the economic dimension of UK-China relations cannot and should not be ignored. China remains an important and major trading partner, offering opportunities in sectors like technology, renewable energy, and advanced manufacturing, among many, many others. An overemphasis on economic engagement, however, would risk undermining security and ignoring values-based agendas. Finally, on values, particularly human rights and democracy, these have historically been a focal point of UK policy on China. Yet, in the current geopolitical landscape, these concerns may need to take something of a back seat to immediate security and economic priorities. This does not mean by any sense abandoning principles, but rather integrating them more pragmatically into broader strategic goals and agendas. Given that it is impossible to pursue all three areas, security, economics, and values, with equal alacrity and urgency, it is values that will need to be deprioritized somewhat if security is now to take on a much more important position in British China policy. Institutional challenges. Effective policy requires not only a clear strategy, but also a coordinated implementation framework. At present, different departments often pursue conflicting objectives, diluting the overall impact of UK-China policy. An institutional overhaul is necessary, and urgently so, to ensure coherence and efficiency. In conclusion, the UK must take several steps to address the shortcomings of its China policy. First, clarify security priorities. The government should articulate specific security goals and align its policies accordingly. This involves defining red lines, identifying critical vulnerabilities, and prioritizing resources to address those areas of greatest concern. Second, focus economic strategy. Rather than broad engagement only, the UK should identify and target key sectors where mutual benefit is possible while safeguarding strategic industries. Third, revamp institutional coordination. A centralized approach to China policy with clear leadership and clear accountability is essential to avoid fragmentation and inefficiency that have characterized UK policy over recent decades. Fourth, engage allies and multilateral frameworks. Close collaboration with international partners will enhance the UK's leverage and ensure a united front on shared challenges. By potentially watering down the China audit, the UK risks perpetuating an unstable and incoherent policy that fails to adequately address security, economic, or values-based concerns. A comprehensive and focused strategy is essential to navigate the complexities of the China relationship and to protect national interests in the years ahead. Thank you.